Hey everyone, this is Papo. Thanks for joining me again on this Thursday afternoon to go over some Form to Win. And Form to Win had a really good weekend covering Churchill. We did the Oaks Day Stakes races at Churchill on Friday, and those were rewarding for us. And then Saturday, Form to Win had some good plays. I took some big swings with some long shots that could not get the job done. So we are back to the drawing board, so to say. But Friday was good. Saturday was a bit underwater, but all in all, it was a good weekend. Good weekend of racing. Derby's always fun, even if you didn't have the winner. And we got the Preakness next week, so it's exciting. And we got racing going on right now. And of course, this weekend I'm looking forward to a little bit of Belmont and maybe some Churchill Downs. But if you haven't done so already, please go to your app store, download the Form to Win app, and if you want to download it on your PC, go to formtowin.com and you can download the PC version, and then go ahead and create an account, which is an email and a password. Once you do that, you'll get 2 free races a day, as well as the last 2 days of results, as you can see here, Tuesday and Wednesday, so that you can go on and play around with the app and use some of the filters to see if you would have landed on the winner. So that's a great feature to be able to do that. And I'm going to turn off my work email here because it's going to be loud with all the emails coming in. But once you download the app, it's going to load the prior 2 days races, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it will load the next 2 days of races. And once you have an account, you will have access to 2 of these live races per day, so you can get live odds and play around with the app and look at the Dutching feature that we have built into the app for win bets. And then if you are interested in the Asia Pacific content, which I know we have a lot of players that are currently using it on Hong Kong, to access that, you'll just go to More and then click on Subscriptions, and then you'll just check this box here, and that'll switch it over, and click Manage, and that will switch it over so you can look at the Australian form as well as the Hong Kong form. And it's doing really well at Hong Kong, especially because it is a good data set to work with. The horses running there have plenty of information on them, and that's where really the power of the app. Obviously, the more data that you have, the more data you can analyze, and it just works out better for you. So once again, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial on how I use Form to Win, and how it can help you really handicap races, going off two values, and put you on horses relatively quickly that you may or may have not found using your traditional PP. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Thursday, and then I'm going to slide my face out of the picture here so that you can see the filters that I set up. But let's see, we've got a race at Belmont going off in 3 minutes, which should be enough time to handicap this race. So first thing you're going to want to do when you go into Form to Win, you're going to see a lot of data up here. Horse name, post position, odds, best Form to Win, average Form to Win, worst Form to Win, average equibase, best equibase, worst equibase, total starts, foal date, average weight, it goes on. There's just a lot of information, and some players will latch on to some of it, and some of it you will decide that what you do not need. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and take out all this information here. So you just click on this tab right here, unhighlight what you don't want to see, and then it changes here on the page. So you're looking at limited columns, and you can sort these columns from highest to lowest. So the average, this is the average Form to Win time. This is honestly, well, in my opinion, this is the best feature of the app. This average Form to Win time that we've calculated is a pure speed number based on the horses' performances at certain distances. And so you want to sort that from lowest to highest. So with the click of a button, you can sort it from lowest to highest. And then if you're using the average equibase figure, which I also think has value, you want to sort that one from highest to lowest, because obviously the higher the figure, the better. With form to win, the lower the time, the better. But let's look at this race at Belmont. You click on this little track here, it gives you the race information. So this is 9 furlongs on the dirt. It gives you the current weather information. And without putting any filters in, Form to Win kind of likes the number 2, our man Mike, just based off all his races. But I want to look, I'm going to create a filter. So for a 9 furlong race, I look at distances, and this will change. The more you play around with the app, you will learn to change your distances to kind of fit what you're looking at. But for 9 furlongs, I really want to see races between 1 1/16, which is 8.5 furlongs, and then 9 furlongs. You could use 8 furlongs, a mile to a mile and an eighth, but that, for me, that's a big gap to look at. So I only want to look at races between 1 1/16 and 9. Track condition, all dirt. I'm going to assume they're fast at Belmont today. I didn't look at the weather, but I think they're good. And then I'm going to hit apply. And what that tells me is we don't have any data on these horses. Well, we have data on one horse, Too Early, who's run 1 race apparently, or 4 starts at distances between 1 1/16 and 9. So my filter was too narrow. So let me see where these distances these horses have been running on. So what I did here was I took the past performances and I packed them by distance. So this tells me that the one horse, his last race, he ran 8 furlongs. He finished 3rd. It's color coded, and he got an 82 equibase speed figure. So really, a lot of these horses are stretching out from a mile. So probably I should use that instead. Sort it. So Form to Win, looking at races between 1 mile and 1 1/8 miles, which honestly, this is going to have to do with a lot of pedigree, because a mile horse is not necessarily going to get 1 1/8 miles. But just going purely off what they've run in the past, the data set that we have to look at, it likes, Form to Win likes Big John, who, is the favorite currently. The highest average equibase speed figure, looking at this range of distances, is Tiergan, and then followed by our man Mike. So I would click on those 2 and see if any of those fit on Form to Win also. It looks like our man Mike got pushed down a little bit, so I don't like him as much. Tiergan's still involved, but I mean, now he's the favorite. So just going off a limited data set, looking at these horses, knowing that they have to stretch out in distance, and I could actually look at the pedigree a little bit, just going off what I know. So Oxbow is the sire of the 1, Bingo John. The dam is AP Metal, which I'm assuming is an AP Mayer Indy, so should have no issues with the stretch out. And Brad Cox is the trainer, so you're doing okay there. And then the other horse I was interested in was, let's see, this No Lime, who kind of fits, who's higher odds of the 3. Flashback was more of a speedster. Wildwood During, really don't know that dam, or who that dam's out of. So I would tread lightly personally in this race. Limited data set to work with. Especially all these horses stretching out. But Bingo John, was Form to Win's top pick. And I actually, let me look and see, because that race just went off. I wish we could have the video live streamed into the app, but that's a big no-no in this industry, so you're just going to have to watch it on your ADW or YouTube. I don't know if Naira puts their signal on YouTube or not, but if not, then just pull it up on your ADW.
A big break. Back to...
And let's see who won that race. I can't see. He's galloping out. looks like the number 5 too early on the stretch out. So he was moved down on Form to Win. Let's see what he was running at. He's stretching out from a mile to a mile and a half. He had run at 9. So two previous starts at 9 furlongs. He had a win and a 4th. So yeah, you would have to do some pedigree work there. We had a limited data set to work with. But it looks like the 5 too early got up. And actually that's the only horse that we had data on when we looked at races between 8 and 8.5. So the horse that had proven form at the distance on, Form to Win was the one that won, and actually was decent odds. So that was interesting. Maiden Claiming. I don't know if the next race at Belmont. I mean, we've got, if you click the comparator button here, you're going to see total starts here. You've got to be careful when you're using Form to Win and you have a limited data set. So I'm, 0 data on the 3, 1 start on the 4. I mean, we can look at this race and tread lightly, but for 6 furlong races, what this next race at Belmont's going to be, 6 furlongs on the dirt, Maiden Claiming. I like to look at horses that have run between 6 and 6.5. So 6 furlongs to 6.5. Once again, this is just me and the filters that I create. You may want to look at races between 6 and 7. And honestly, let's see what some of these horses have been running at. Good data set to work with. Most of them have been running at 6. So this guy's cutting back. The 5's cutting back from 8 furlongs from a mile, but I think from 6 to 6.5, we'll have a good data set to work with the exception of the horse, the number 3 horse, who is a true maiden, and this will be the first start of his career. Track condition, I'll just go all dirt. And odds, you can see, I'll switch to the morning line odds so we can see who Form to Win landed on. It likes the number 7 horse, who is the second choice, actually, the 8 horse, who looks like has no form going between 6 and 6.5. Let me see where the 8 horse has been running. Oh, so the 8's cutting back. The 8 has run at 7 furlongs, but his last couple of races have been a little over a mile. And he's the morning line choice on the cutback. But Form to Win likes the 7, Tiny Magoo, who's the second choice on the morning line. It also likes this prize horse, After the Wire. He's second on Form to Win. Let's see where he is on average equibase. So Tiny Magoo is a dual qualifier. He's the top horse in average equibase, and he's the top horse in average Form to Win. So that's always an angle that I look at. You can go through and highlight these horses. Top 3 average equibase, top 3 in Form to Win. And actually all those horses fit. So besides the horse, the number 8 horse who's cutting back, Form to Win likes these 3 horses, and the one horse, although he's only had 1 start between 6 and 6.5, 10 to 1 odds is a fair price to have him involved underneath. So that's who Form to Win likes in the Belmont 4th. But Tiny Magoo, maybe Tiny Magoo, the second choice, can beat this favorite, Miss Alex, on the cutback. So we will watch that going forward. I'm just going to fire through the rest of this Belmont card while we're here. 8 furlongs Claiming is the 5th at Belmont. We'll click Analyze. Let me make sure I got enough data to work with. Got plenty of data. 7 starts, 10 starts, 8 starts, 5 starts, 10 starts, 10, 5. So I recommend that you sort this, change it from finish position to distance, and then instead of summary, use packed. So once again, what you're seeing is a digital form of their PPs, color-coded how they ran. Red is first, green is second, yellow is third, blue is fourth, and then anything other than fourth is always going to be brown. And this is just a quick graphical way to see which horses, like you can tell right away, the 3 horses finished second. Second, likes to be the bridesmaid. But it could be conditions. Maybe he's dropping in class. We don't have any last time out winners. And since this is a claiming race, an angle that I've seen, the last out highest figure is a good angle, a good horse to keep your eye on. So I'm just going to put a mark on the 4 right away. He ran a 100 equibase speed figure going 8 furlongs last time out. So without any other handicapping, I'm interested in that horse. But now I'm going to look who Form to Win likes. Without any filters, that last out highest figure, the number 4 horse, is second on Form to Win. But for an 8 furlong race at Belmont, I'll look at races between maybe 8 and 8.5, so a mile and a 1/16. I may use 7 if this parses down the data set too much, but I'm going to try to look between races between 8 and 8.5. Track condition, all dirt. Just hit apply. And it likes the favorite right away. So no other no other handicapping angles whatsoever, just using strictly the Form to Win. It likes the favorite. I'd be a bit interested in the 4 considering he ran the last time out highest figure. Let's see, average equibase. The favorite's the top choice. My 4 horse got pushed down, but he could have had a race where he just ran awful, and that will obviously skew the equibase figure. So in the 5th race at Belmont, I would be interested in the 3-4 using Form to Win, nothing else. Haven't looked at any sort of other PPs. Haven't looked at jockey trainer stats or speed or the pace of the race. Just strictly off raw Form to Win data. The 3 and the 4 in the Belmont, which honestly, I mean, it pushes the 6 down, who's the second choice, so that's an interesting angle. Using Form to Win also, favorites that get pushed down on time. So maybe in the next race you play against the 5 horse, who's the second choice. Maybe you try to get him out of the exacta, and you just go 3-4. Once again, you got to see what the odds look like when the race comes up. So that's the Belmont 5th. Race 6, I'm going to pass on. Maiden special weight. We're probably not going to have much data to work with at all. Well, no, we do have some data to work with. 5 starts, 4 starts, 1. We just don't have a horse that's won yet. Let me see where these horses have been running at. Okay, so we've got a lot of horses that have been running at a mile. There's a 9 furlong horse, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8.5, 8.5, 9. Okay, this is where when you're building your filters, you have to be careful because, you know, a horse stretching out from a mile to, 8 furlongs to 11, not saying that they can't do it, but, an 8 furlong horse, a horse that excels at 8 furlongs is not necessarily going to excel at 11, and vice versa. Not saying that they can't, but sometimes they're just a different animal. Sometimes they're meant for 1-turn miles, or they're a distance horse, and distance horses are usually built a little bit differently. So when I'm setting up my filter, I want to look at horses that at least run a 1 1/16. So I'm going to put my filter at 8.5 furlongs, which is a 1 1/16, and then 2 whatever. I mean, it looks like the longest any horses run in this race is 9. So I'll just look at races between a 1 1/16 at 9. I believe this is on the turf, which it is. Turf race. I'm assuming the turf is rated fast, but I can double check that. Let me see, so that we can really parse this down. Belmont today, turf is rated good, which is fine because we can actually click on a button and only look at those horses that have run on turf rated good. But at first, I'm going to look at how they performed in all their turf races. So I set my distance filter between a 1 1/16, 8.5 furlongs, and 9. Track condition, I'm going to click all turf. Now, some of these horses may be going turf to dirt, but we'll find out here in a minute. And then I'm going to hit apply. Form to Win likes the 486. I mean, limited data set. I mean, the 4-horse is run 3 times between a mile and a 16th and 9 furlongs, and he has the fastest Form to Win time. That's Prayer Book. Houdini's awesome, who's a 12 to 1 shot. It's ranked second off 1 performance, 1 start here. And Snow Island, let me sort them by average equibase. So Snow Island is a double qualifier. He's first in average equibase with 1 start. So 1 start he ran at 90 at these distances, and then he got pushed down a little bit, but he is a dual qualifier, and he's the only one. So right away, be interested in the 6. We don't have any data on the 7-horse, so I'm assuming he's stretching out. I Am the Law, who is your morning line favorite. And let me see who he's trained by. John Terranova. You got Miss a Wish on the top. Funny Pepper on the dam side. He's your favorite. Where did he? Let's see how he ran last time out. He ran second, going a mile on a sloppy track. So he's a horse that, well, Mission Wish, I believe, was a dual surface winner. So turf shouldn't be an issue. I believe he won on dirt and turf. And then he finished second, going a mile also. So I guess the question is he going to stretch out to 11 furlongs? And you can, you know, if you want to gamble that, I mean, he is the favorite. Maybe you can take a shot against him, but maybe he's training great. We just don't know that using strictly Form to Win. But the horses that do fit, given the parameters that I looked at, are the number 4 Prayer Book, and also Snow Island was a dual qualifier, so I would be interested in Snow Island too. And let me see who those horses are trained by. Prayer Book is trained by Pletcher. You get size in the saddle, Uncle Mo on the top, Bella Jolie on the bottom, and then the other horse that we liked a little bit was Snow's Island, trained by Tom Bush. Got Animal Kingdom on the top and Tutti Paisi on the dam side. I remember that horse. I remember betting on her. She was pretty good. But using Form to Win, we have 1 dual qualifier, Snow Island. Breaking post 6 to 1 on the morning line. And he's third in Form to Win, but he's the only horse to check both those boxes. And then Prayer Book with 3 starts, looking at races between a mile and a 16th and 9 furlongs, he fits too. So if you're trying to beat the favorite using Form to Win, those are the 2 horses I would be interested in. And we'll just see if they get bet down or if their price holds up. Moving on to the Belmont 7th. 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. We have a claiming race. We got plenty of starts. So I recommend, once again, you sort it by distance and then pack it. And since this is a claiming race, the first thing that I want to do is use a horse that put a star on the horse that has the highest last time out fig. And I don't really care about distance in this case, just looking for the highest fig. So looks like the 1 was slightly better than the 8, who ran a 78. Oh no, excuse me. The 6 horse ran a 79 also. So from a claiming, I've noticed on these claiming races, that last time out fig, that's an angle to look at. And for 6.5 on the dirt, I will set my filter at races between 6 furlongs and 6.5. Track condition, all dirt, hit apply. So right away, I'm interested in the 6 Middletown Rose at 3 to 1. Then there's your favorite, Baby Boss, who also fits. And let's see if we have any dual qualifiers. So Baby Boss, Madeira, and Middletown Rose. Middletown Rose, Baby Boss, Madeira. So they're both, all 3 of these horses are dual qualifiers. I mean, if you can get the 5-horse involved at a price, not too far off in Form to Win time between Madeira and Baby Boss, and you're getting quite a difference in price. So that'd be a horse that I'd be interested in. in folding underneath, and the Belmont Park 7th. So really, we looked at that race. It only really took a minute, and that's it. But using form to win, those are the horses I would be interested in. Belmont 8th. This is on the turf. We're going 6 furlong, so a 6 furlong turf sprint. Optional, allowance optional claiming. We've got plenty of data to work with. Highest last out fig. There's the 4 horse, 94. So I'll put a star on that horse. Keep an eye on, and it looks like he's the morning line favorite. So nothing too earth shattering there. We'll sort our distances. Look at races between 6 and 6.5. Track condition, all turf first, and then I'm going to go back and adjust it for good. I forgot to do that on that last race. Okay, so we've got 2 horses that are dual qualifiers using the filter that I built in, looking at races between 6 and 6.5. On the turf, we have the 4 Silky Blue and the 7, oh, good luck with that name, Pelagius Dinah. And the 4's the favorite. So was hoping we would find a price, but the oh, excuse me, no, I sorted that wrong. So the 4 actually got pushed down using form to win. He's only got 1 start, but his form to win time was slower. So yeah, so this would be a good opportunity maybe to try to beat the favorite with the 7 and the 5, because they were, well, the 7 was the only one that was a dual qualifier. So that's the horse I would be interested in. Pelagius Dinah at 6-1. He was the only horse that was a dual qualifier. And I mean, this 2 horse at a price had the fastest form to win, based off 3 starts, and he's 12-1. Now, let me see if that changes, because we do know that the turf is rated good at Belmont. So you can just manipulate the data, unhighlight turf rated firm or hard, hit apply. And so that changes things. So now the favorite has proven form over a turf course rated good. So that may be the bet. But the 2 horse, or excuse me, the 12 horse, once again moved up. I have no idea what that is. Dancing with the, I have no clue. I'm not going to try it. So the 2 horse and the Belmont 8th at 12-1, 1 start on ground rated good, fits along with the favorite. So that's the horse maybe to get involved in the exacta. These other horses, not saying that they can't run, well, the 5 and the 7, because they fit on a turf course rated firm. It's just we have no form on them. The only horses that we have form on with turf rated good are the 4, 2, 6, and 8, and out of those 2 is the 4 and the 2, and the 2 is a price. So I would be interested in the 2 horse, maybe trying to get him in the mix underneath in the exacta, or maybe if you were gonna play the trifecta in the 7 horse field, if you could get that favorite out of the top spot, maybe. But anyway, 2 horse would be the one I would try to get involved at a price, and the Belmont 8th, maybe underneath the favorite Silky Blue. So we finished that race, and we're to the nightcap at Belmont, race 9. Really moving through this card. Hit analyze. Let's see how much data we have to work with. Plenty of data to work with. This race is 6 furlongs on the turf. Well, good turf racing at Belmont. I'm glad to see up in New York we're back on the turf. Slightly biased. I do like turf races. Not only because my ROI is higher on them, but I just like the pedigree. I don't know why. I tend to do better on turf races, and I have a better feel of pace sometimes in the turf. But in this particular race, I'm looking at races between 6 and 6.5. All turf. We hit apply. That's an interesting price. Kazar, 2 starts. Breaking from the 1, followed by High School Crush. Avis K's Girl. So those are the top 3 for Form to Win. Average Equibase. Avis K Girl is the only dual qualifier. So she's second on average Equibase, and she's third on average Form to Win, but she is the only horse that is a dual qualifier. So the 7 is a horse that I would definitely use in some capacity. Now I'm going to change, see if any of these horses have form on turf rated good, yielding, or soft. Well, that changes it a bit. So my 7 horse has not run terrible on a turf course rated good, soft, or yielding. Has been pushed down a bit with 2 starts, but not too bad. I mean, she is pushed down to 4th, but she has 2 starts. But Appreciate really moves up with 1 turf start on a turf course rated good, yielding, or soft, and is a price, honestly. So I wouldn't never talk someone off a price. Let's see who has the last highest out figure. The last highest out figure is the 1 with a 77, and the 1 fit, I believe, when we, let's see, well, got pushed down when I was using the good, soft, yielding, but the 1 doesn't look like he likes to win. I mean, we've got, for these claiming races, that's also something I like to look at. The horse has run, 10 times and has run 3rd, but hasn't won. And I try to avoid those horses. So the ones that have won in the past, like even the 12, who I liked a little bit at 15 to 1, has not won. So that's just an easy way to look at it too. The 4 horse, last time out, one going 6, but I believe that speed came, a 61 fig, and didn't fit on Form to Win. Let me see, go back to all turf. So the 7, who was a dual qualifier and who's 8 to 1 on the morning line, ran 2nd, 2 back. Then you click on this. Then you had a spell of 141 days. Looks like she got some sort of layoff. Not sure if there was, just that was planned or she needed some time off. But she ran a good fig 2 back, going 6 furlongs. And then I'm not sure what happened in the last at Aqueduct. On track condition was good. Let me see. So maybe she needed a race. That you're just going to have to make a decision on. But she was a dual qualifier. And she is a price to fold into the mix. So I like the 7 a little bit as a dual qualifier. Ava K's Girl, 8 to 1. But I don't think the troublesome is she does not... Yeah, she is pushed down a little bit on turf rated good. She moves up like she's run a good... Her best figure is a 112, but her average is a 112.62. So kind of a crapshoot, honestly. But this 8 horse, who's the favorite? Where's that 8 horse been running? 1 going 7 furlongs, Master of Hope. Looks like this horse is going dirt to turf. Let me look at that pedigree. The 8. Bodemeister, and I don't know where that dam is out of. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to I'm going to talk to Alex, the developer of Form to Win and our partner, and I'm going to see if he can include the dam sire, because I know we can pull that information from Equibase, and I always look at the dam sire for distance purposes, and also especially for turf. So I'll see if we can get that built into the app. And also, honestly, if you have anything that you would like built into the app, let me know either on Twitter or text me or DM me or contact Steve. I mean, the app is very fluid, and we are adding things actually right now, this day. Our team in Australia is working on adding new functions, especially more different bets. So I'll just show this real quick. If you do want, we do have a SimBet application. You know, you can start your fake money up here, $50,000. It's not real, it's fake. And you can, right now it's WinBet, because WinBet, honestly, that's the easiest bet to wager. And actually, long term, it's. I know everybody's in love with the multis, but the WinBet has been my saver this year in particular, because the minute that you start putting horses underneath, you're diluting your opinion. So the WinBet is the easiest bet to make, and honestly, it keeps your ROI halfway decent if you're correct. I mean, you do have to be right, but you only have to be right once instead of trying to find the horse that finishes second, third, or first in the next couple races. But we are going to try to build exactas into here, so you can play around with that also. But right now, it's just strictly win betting. And when you click on this calculator, what it's doing is it's telling you if you were wanting to bet more than one horse to win, which I don't encourage that unless, you know, there's some price horses. But it would take whatever denomination that you put in. So right now it's 100, but you could put 50 or 20. I'll change it to 20. Oh, not 520. That'd be a nice win bet. And it takes that $20 and say you wanted to bet that $20 on these three horses, which, you know, maybe I don't like this favorite Tiny Magoo as much, although let me see if he did fit on Form to Win. But so did the one, so I'll take off. So maybe I just wanted to bet those two horses. It takes my $20, this is called Dutching. It takes your dollar amount that you want to spend, and based off the horse's current odds, it's going to disseminate a dollar amount to that horse based on current odds to guarantee you the highest maximum payout that you can get using this combination. So if you use two horses, if you bet two horses to win, it's going to take your $20, it's going to put $16 right here. You can see it. Oh, let me take my face off again. Yeah, right here. So it's going to take $16 of that $20 that you want to bet. $20 is your bet amount. It's going to take 16, and it's going to put it on the 7 for a payout of roughly $40. And then if this one horse comes in who's higher odds, it's going to bet $4 on him because he's higher odds, so it'll be a higher payout if he wins. And it's going to pay you $40. So what you're trying to do when you Dutch is you're trying to get to the highest possible dollar amount using a combination of horses. So right now, if you bet 20, you'll get 40 back if that combo works. And if you wanted to place this bet, you know, with sim money, you would just go create slips and then create all bets. And then it goes into your bank here, and the race just went off. So I'm not sure if that got in or not. But you can always go back and check and see what your payout would have been. And that's just a good way to, you know, familiarize yourself with the app too. And honestly, if you're at the track and you've got this downloaded on your phone, it's fairly easy to walk up to the teller if you were playing one horse, or if you wanted to play two horses and trying to beat the favorite, betting them to win. You could just walk up to the teller, you know, tell them you wanted to put, you know, $10 on this horse and $30 on this horse based off their current odds that Form to Win is telling you. And then if the combination comes in, if either one of those horses comes in, you're really maximizing your dollar, because I don't know why you would put the same dollar amount on a horse that's, you know, horse is 2 to 1 versus a horse that's 10 to 1. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's called Dutching, and that helps with your ROI especially. But I mean, you still got to be right. You still need one of those horses that you bet to win. But when you are right, it does help your ROI because it's maximizing your dollar amount on each combination. But that's hopefully we just we went straight through that Belmont card. Let me see if there's anything at Churchill we want to look at with big fields. I mean, I can look at the Churchill. First at Churchill, this is 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Plenty of data to work on. Okay, take this off. I will do a filter real quick. Only look at races between 6 and 6.5. I'm going to show you how quick you can look at this race using Form to Win, all dirt. We're fast here in Kentucky. Didn't get any rain. We're getting rain tonight. So track conditions may change at Churchill tonight. I believe we're supposed to get rain a little after 7. But if they do, you could come in here and just click on, if the track conditions change throughout the card and it goes good, it goes to good, sloppy, or muddy, you could just unhighlight those, and then you would see how the horses in this race, how they performed on a track rated good, sloppy, or muddy. And that helps you to make decisions even more. You don't have to go through a ton of PPs and try to find that data. But right now I will look at all data, all dirt between 6 and 6.5, without any other handicapping. It likes Midnight Patriot, who's the 2 to 1 morning line favorite. It also likes this one horse, Beccaro Flies, who's 10 to 1. He's got 4 starts, but he fits on Form to Win. He gets pushed down on average equibase, but he fits on Form to Win. So that's a horse that maybe you could include underneath with Midnight Patriot and try to get this 5-horse jetting out of the mix. We'll go to race 2 at Churchill. Probably do the whole Churchill card in 15 minutes if we wanted to. Plenty of, well, we don't have any data on the 3-horse, who's a true maiden. We've got 1 start on the 1 horse, but we'll look at it. 6 to 6.5 on the dirt. So once again, simple filter that I'm going to use. Look at races between 6 and 6.5. Track condition, all dirt. Hit apply. Form to Win likes the 6-horse Pilot Prince and the 5-horse Brother Aaron. And the 2 a little bit. Strike It for Tap It. It's an interesting name. And they all 3 fit on they're dual qualifiers, all 3 of them. So without any other handicapping, the 6, the 5, and the 2. And the 2's 10 to 1. So if you can get that 2 in the mix. Now the horse that it did push down was your morning line favorite, but it may be because he is a true... No, he has 4 starts, so let's see. Where has he been running? Maybe he's cutting back. Yeah, he's cutting back from 7. So they started this horse out at going 5, did nothing. 42-day layoff, came back at 7, did nothing. They stretched him out to 9, did nothing. But he improved going 7. I mean, he ran a 70 equibase speed figure and finished 4th last time out at Keeneland. So, he's cutting back to 6. It's going to be even sharper for him. Let me see. Oh, Jack Sisterson, who's actually doing very, very well this year running. His horses are running very competitively. They did last week at Churchill. She got Mission Wish on the top and Spent Gold on the bottom. Maybe 6 furlongs is too sharp for him. That's what you're gonna have to gamble on. It's funny, without any filters, he fits because he ran at 5 furlongs. He has 1 start at 5 furlongs, so that's skewing that number. But if you're trying to beat the favorite, the 6, 5, and the 2 are interesting, and that 2 is interesting if you want to use them deep underneath in the exotics. So that is the Churchill second. Okay, I'll just do a couple of more of these, and then I'll jump off. 5 furlongs on the turf. plenty of data to work with. And this is a allowance, not a claiming. So for 5 furlong races, I always set my filter to look at races between 5 and 5.5, because I feel like 6 furlongs is oftentimes a horse that may not be as sharp at 5. And then I'm going to click all turf. Oh, and maybe that's too narrow, but maybe not. So we don't have any data on these horses. The 2, 4, the 8 have not run at between 5 and 5.5 furlongs. Some may be cutting back. Some may have, well, they could have gone much shorter. I mean, I guess 4.5 somewhere. But most likely these horses are cutting back because they do have starts. But the 7 horse, Joyful Heart, he has 2 starts, and he's top on Form to Win, and he's 10-1. So he's interesting. And then, of course, you have the second choice, Searing Chase, who fits also with 1 start. So, you know, Joyful Heart would be, using Form to Win would be the horse I would be interested in. I mean, his equibase speed figure isn't that high, but on Form to Win, he does. Let me look at, well, now that I look at him, he doesn't. He's been running at 6. He has 1 race at 5, and that was a while back. Well, July of 2020. And then they stretched him out. Didn't really do much. They cut him back to 5. Didn't do much either. Then he had a break, and it looks like he hasn't gone back in form, but I mean, his numbers have been okay. He ran a 91 speed figure here. I'm not sure what happened here. He finished 5th at Keeneland, so not awful, but he hasn't won in a while. But he is a price, so maybe underneath, and the 1 horse fits on Form to Win. So those are the, you know, Joyful Heart maybe underneath, and Searing Chase. Let me look at the pedigree on Searing Chase. Uncle Mo on top, Joyfully on the bottom. Paul Lobo is the trainer, and you get Gaffleone. 5 total starts, 2 first and a third. So horse is always involved, and he's not the favorite. Not a huge price, but, you know, something to maybe possibly build tickets around. Okay, I'll do 1 more maiden claiming, and then that'll be it for today's session. We've got a decent amount of data to work with. I want to see who, this is a claiming race, so I like that angle highest last out figure just to keep an eye on. So we've got, well, looks like the favorite had the highest last out figure, ran a 69 when finishing 4th last time out at Turfway. Let's see, this is 8.5 furlongs on the dirt, so I will look at races between 8 and 8.5, mile to a mile and a 16th. And tell her to sing the favorite is the top ranked horse on Form to Win. Looks like he's a dual qualifier. Looks like we have 514 and the 5-4 are both dual qualifiers. The 9 horse is a little bit interesting. Grey Nay at 15-1, maybe a horse to include underneath, but the favorite looks tough. It's going to look tough to beat there. Had the highest last out fig, fits on Form to Win, is a dual qualifier, checks a lot of boxes. Maybe you can get the 9 or the 4 involved underneath. It did push. You know, the second choice is the Solomon Oath, who's 3-1, and Form to Win did push that horse down, so maybe try to get that horse out of the exacta if you are going to play that particular race. But anyway, as always, everyone, appreciate your time. If you have any questions, download the app, contact me on Twitter or email or DM. I'm always open to suggestions. It takes a little while to get used to. It is a digital PP product, so It looks different, but once you play around with it a little bit and you have all those historical races to test it out on, you can really make some decisions relatively quickly. You can put in your filter and do a race within 60 to 90 seconds. And the track record so far has proven out that average form to win time is a really good angle to use. So once again, appreciate your time. I will see you next week. If you are playing this evening, good luck, and wish you all the best this weekend also. So I'll talk to you next Thursday, and Form to Win, formtowin.com, and contact me on Twitter if you have any questions. Appreciate your time.